Okay, wait a minute. Why is Ellen DeGeneres suddenly disappearing from the public eye like she's starring in her own spy thriller? And why does it just so happen to line up with Diddy's explosive federal trial that's shaking the entire Hollywood foundation? Because, baby, something is not adding up, and folks are finally starting to ask the right questions. Remember when Ellen was America's sweetheart, dancing into our homes and telling us to be kind? Well, that same Ellen has reportedly dipped out of the United States with her wife Portia de Rossi, and she's not looking back. The word on the street is she's relocated to the UK and has no plans to return. And fans are starting to wonder, is this just a peaceful retirement or a strategic escape?
Ellen DeGeneres and her wife Portia de Rossi have reportedly fled the US, bound for the UK.
Let's not forget, Ellen and Diddy were way too cozy back in the day. She wasn't just casually name-dropping him on her show, she called him Cuddle McSnuggle. You heard that right. If that doesn't scream weird Hollywood energy, I don't know what does.
Any word of advice to the Hollywood celebrities? Some of them, we're pretty close friends of Diddy, who seemingly are fleeing the nation, never to return. Ellen DeGeneres is one who called P. Diddy Cuddle McSnuggle. We actually have the tweet. I think with Killer Klein, we have the tweet. Yeah, we have the tweet. She's gone.
And now, with Diddy knee-deep in a criminal RICO case and stories about his so-called freak-offs flooding social media, Ellen suddenly decides it's time to switch continents? Come on now. But here's where it gets even spicier. Gene Deal, former head of Bad Boy Security, is blowing the lid off everything. He says some of the biggest names in entertainment are ducking out, laying low, or outright disappearing, and it's not just random coincidence. These are people who were in Diddy's orbit, who knew what was going on, or were allegedly involved in one way or another. According to Gene, if the feds wanted to find Ellen, they could. But the silence, the fleeing, that screams guilty knowledge or fear of exposure.
The federal government, if they want you, that you can't be got. You understand what I'm saying? If the federal government wants you that bad, you'll be gotten, bro. It's too much technology, photo imaging. There's nowhere she could go.
And let's talk about Anne Heche for a minute. Ellen's ex-girlfriend passed away in 2022 after a bizarre, high-speed car crash that many still believe wasn't an accident. At the time of her death, Anne was reportedly working on a film about trafficking, and some say it would have exposed several powerful Hollywood names. Sound familiar? Because now Ellen is being lumped into those whispers, right alongside Diddy, and people are starting to connect the dots. The footage of Anne post-crash was chilling. She was zipped into a body bag, yet managed to pull herself up and try to get out. That moment aired on live television, and nothing about it felt right. Authorities claimed she was unconscious, yet we all saw her move. The official explanation was that she was sedated in the ambulance and later passed away at the hospital. But conspiracy theorists have been screaming since day one that something much darker went down, especially considering Ellen reportedly blackballed Anne after their breakup, using her influence to block her from getting roles or even interviews.
This video showing the woman on a stretcher flailing and, according to neighbors, screaming at the time. Authorities say she suffered burns and was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
This car crash was one of those instances where we all remember parts of it because it was such a weird thing to watch in real time. Because they kept telling us that the driver of this vehicle didn't survive, but then we see Anne actually rip herself out of the body bag while they're trying to load her in the back of the ambulance.
Oh, and let's not forget Ellen's recent image overhaul. Now that she's in the UK, she's sporting a new hairstyle, going incognito, avoiding public events, and basically pretending the Hollywood chapter of her life never happened. For someone who used to be the face of daytime television, that is a massive shift. She didn't just retire, she vanished. Meanwhile, Gene Deal keeps putting the puzzle pieces together. He's not holding back. According to him, Ellen isn't the only one who should be worried. He's naming names, pointing fingers, and saying there are tapes, yes, actual video evidence, of high-profile people doing things that are going to send shockwaves across the entire industry. And when those tapes come out, if they come out, silence won't save anyone. Let's not forget Gene's already been banned from Diddy's courtroom trial. Why? Well, he got into an altercation with a YouTuber who tried to disrespect him, but many fans think the real reason is that Gene was saying too much. He's the one who started talking about Diddy's behavior years ago, long before it was trendy to do so. And now that everything is unraveling, Suddenly he's being shut out? Convenient, isn't it? But Ellen's story just keeps getting weirder. There's that old clip of her and Diddy on her show where Diddy makes a joke about airing Ellen's tape. And if you look closely, her face changes. She stiffens up, her smile drops, and for a split second, she looks terrified. At the time, people thought it was just awkward banter. But now, that moment hits very differently.
All right. We go so far back. You don't tell these people how far back we go. I know, but I wear t-shirts. I don't know what that means. Anyway, all right. Let's do all that. Okay. All right. I got this to the joke. I don't want no problem. Hey, so cheers.
That got her to everything.
And then there's the way Ellen used her platform to shape the narrative. Multiple sources have since come forward saying that if you were booked on her show, you were told not to mention Anne Hecke. Like, specifically told. That's a whole new level of damage control. It's almost like Ellen wasn't just trying to distance herself from Anne, she was trying to erase her. When it comes to Hollywood secrets, nobody's lips have been tighter than Ellen's. But the way she's acted in the wake of Diddy's downfall says more than words ever could. Gene Deal has hinted that several celebrities on Diddy's inner circle were part of these infamous parties. You know, the ones we've been hearing about for years, the same ones where freaky stuff went down, power dynamics were abused, and cameras were rolling. Ellen's name kept coming up in those circles, whether it was through party invites, mutual connections, or just her strangely deep ties with Diddy, she was around. And now that the feds are peeling back the curtain, it looks like she's running for cover. But Ellen isn't the only one. Gene also dropped tea about Jay-Z, Will Smith, Meek Mill, and even Justin Bieber. Yeah, it's that deep. He says there's video evidence involving these men, and once prosecutors get their hands on it, it's game over. These tapes are allegedly sitting in the vault somewhere, but if what Gene is saying is true, it's only a matter of time before they surface. Now let's be clear, nobody's saying Ellen did anything criminal yet. But when people start going dark, deleting old photos, avoiding public appearances, and cutting ties with longtime friends right when a scandal explodes, people notice. And right now, all signs point to Ellen knowing way more than she ever let on. So here's the real question. Did Ellen DeGeneres flee the country because she was scared of being dragged into Diddy's mess? Or is she hiding from something much, much bigger? And if the rumors are true, what else is she afraid might come to light? Whatever the case may be, the timing is suspicious, the silence is deafening, and the truth might be just around the corner. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're ready for more bombshells like this one, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an update.